Hello, everybody. It's your boy, MC. Get over there and hit that subscribe button, the like button. Where's my microphone set at? Welcome to the show. Like what the title said, the Dems, citizens, been wanting the National Guards out there in Washington, D.C. And I said yesterday, it's like, man, hey, I always figured, like, wow, if it's any state, that's just my state of mind. You would think, like, where the president lives, you're supposed to be, like, pretty much in my book, you're supposed to be in the safest place in the USA. But apparently, not so. A lot of them have said, like, they've been wanting this protection for a long, long time. And MasterCard, and then I'm going to show some receipts to get this thing started. So let's go over here and see what Nate the lawyer is basically attacking it at. And then we're going to get this part started.
Do you want to know why more and more people are switching every day to Freeway? Easy. 1, low prices.
DC's leaders struggle to get the crisis under control. One Democratic councilman is now calling for military intervention.
We just know that police alone is not getting it done. We're simply asking our federal partners for help and presence in our community because we know that officers who have a handgun can't combat 3 people with AR-15s and AK-47s shooting down the street.
So Trump answered those calls and took over D.C. and sent in the National Guard.
This is Liberation Day in D.C. and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
So let's go over and check it out.
The city council last year, a new law allowed non-citizens
to vote. They allowed non-citizens to vote in elections.
We were just 2.
Wow.
You don't need citizenship in Washington, D.C. to vote. They allowed non-citizens to vote in elections.
We were just 2 days out from D.C.'s primary. A new group of voters are casting their first ever ballot. Last year, a new law allowed non-citizens to vote, and it's causing controversy nationally. The city council unanimously passed the legislation in 2022.
The consent agenda is approved unanimously.
Now, D.C. goes even farther. For instance, if you're a non-citizen, you can actually be mayor of D.C. or even be on the city council. Yes, non-citizens can hold public office in.
Did you hear that? That's from a lawyer, attorney. You have paralegal courses. Nate the lawyer, paralegal, Washington, D.C. Right? Actually be a citizen. And that's the same thing that went on, going on out here in LA and these other blue states. So let's check this out. And then it just came from out of nowhere. Imagine people don't even know when it got started. They just now finding this out. They just found it out before COVID, and then COVID kicked in. Imagine that. And then they forgot because of the crisis of COVID. So, man, this is some. Ooh, I'm going to speed it up.
D.C.
The mayor of the District of Columbia could be a non-citizen.
Technically, it sounds like you're about right.
Committee Chair Anita Bonds went on to explain the rationale.
If you reside in the District of Columbia, that you have the rights of everyone else because you're paying taxes. And your children are in our school system.
D.C. is run by Democrats, and Democrats were all in for BLM. So they decided to essentially defund their police department in a very unique way. Just don't hire any new police officers.
We're back now with the tough admission.
So by doing that, like the way we was marching out here in Los Angeles, and some of these others say defund the police. And you have the so-called YNs and other crimes and individuals doing what they want to do. Dang, robbing, stealing, jacking, as if. And then I just realized what the YN thing was, young N-word. So, man. So let's get back to what these people say.
From DC's police chief. He told us the city's police department hasn't been this small in nearly 50 years, and it comes at a time when even the mayor admits fear of violent crime is high.
The department has had fewer than 3,400 members since December. 430 fewer officers now than we did in 2019.
So they're talking about some stats that they went down. How could the stats go down with a less majority of police force? You see that man's shoulder? Do you think he's fibbing? Making this up? Let's hear the numbers. These numbers again. All right, is you feeling me? Let's hear these numbers one more time. There you go. Chief.
30 fewer officers now than we did in 2019.
A time when even the mayor admits fear of violent crime is high.
The department has had fewer than 3,400 members since December. 430 fewer officers now than we did in 2019, and likely the lowest number of officers since at least the 1970s. It will take more than a decade to reach 3,800 sworn officers if we are able to sustain even modest net gains in staffing each year.
Think about that, fewer officers than in the 1970s.
But DC wasn't finished. They said, well, we're cutting the police department, but we're also going to change the laws to make it easier for criminals to get out of jail. Their change was so bad that even the left-wing lunatic Biden administration rejected their changes to the law because Biden, again, listen to this Biden administration, thought it was too light on crime.
Talk to the team, and we have a couple of things that I just want to lay out for all of you and on what the DC bill does. It reduces maximum penalties for offenses like murders and other homicides, armed home invasion burglaries, armed carjackings, as I mentioned.
Do you feel me now? So, like I got some shows coming up for y'all. A lot of people been telling me to get more red pill, and I got to because I do it outside of YouTube anyway. Until then, let's check out the rest of this clip.
Robberies, unlawful gun possession, and some sexual assault offenses.
So DC has a double whammy. You defund the police department and then you pass laws to make it easier on the criminals. So what do you think happened? Crime exploded.
Political headlines, of course, are dominating the message from the nation's capital. The city's leaders are now sounding the alarm over a much different crisis on the streets. Violent crime jumped 37% from last year, according to
Now, is these the numbers that they're talking about? Or these are stats? But these are the stats of 2022 and 2030. This looked like at around the time when we was dang near out of COVID. Look at these stats right over here. Look at them. Watch.
the DC Metropolitan Police Department. Homicide is up 28%, with robbery up an alarming, get this, 60%. Now, a city council member is calling for the National Guard to help restore order.
Democrats in Washington, D.C. were begging President at the time, Joe Biden, to send the National Guard into D.C. to help with the crime because crime was so bad. I have that clip.
But as D.C.'s leaders struggle to get the crisis under control, one Democratic councilman is now calling for military intervention.
There's a spirit of anarchy and lawlessness rampant through our communities. I've never seen this onslaught of violence portrayed on our women and our kids. And enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
We are clearly in a war zone. So I have spoken with the DC National Guard.
Did you hear what he said? Yeah, at this point of this video, you need to share. If you're at this point of the video, you just really need to share. These are things that were spewing out. Look, man, I understand I don't be going out of town states. This was my first Rams game. As you see that I went to, I used to work for the event staff right in my younger days when I was like, what, 18, 19, 20, 22, and then I started getting alcoholic. But darn, even in the earlier newscasts, they're tired of burying their children. And I'm going to bag this up so you can see that part. This is what it says. Dems DC lawmakers calls for the National Guards to curb crime. Then it says, DC Dems calls on National Guard. I'm tired of burying our children up under the crime report. See, this is where it says all that. They're tired. They're tired. And this is what that guy said.
Democratic councilman is now calling for military intervention.
There's a spirit of anarchy and lawlessness rampant through our communities. I've never seen this onslaught of violence portrayed on our women and our kids. And enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
We are clearly in a war zone. So I have spoken with the DC National Guard. And while I have to have more conversations with the chief of police, which I have today, and the mayor and my colleagues, we have a long way to get there. We just know that police alone is not getting it done. We're simply asking our federal partners for help and presence in our community because we know that officers who have a handgun can't combat 3 people with AR-15s and AK-47s shooting down the street.
We don't really identify mental health.
So, like what most of us say, go over there and check out the Nate lawyer screen so you can see the rest of that clip. I just wanted to get in there and I wasn't. Then I realized I better not go out of the clip until we get to the part of the National Guard. So with that, I have this other clip coming. But man, I am just still stunned. See, that's the part. Sure, I know the people I grew up with in the South Central area of where I live at. They know darn well in the part of where I live at, if that part of South Central was in any proximity, where it's the White House, I don't think we would be like devastatingly cutting up like that. Because in the neighborhood that I grew up, I think we would have took what we was doing to another side of town. And we probably would have been more lighter on the block parties and the street parties back then. So, but man. And then that was 2023. And then you see what that mayor said about it was like, 400 and something missing from the police force, defund the police. Now we actually seeing in real time what could devastatingly happen if things like that occur. They call I have a lot of friends in the rooms of recovery and not in the rooms of recovery, in churches and things I grew up. And then some of their kids don't even know who is the store clerk down the street, let alone who is the gas station attendant right in their neighborhood. That's how parents and individuals out here in LA, South Central, is really moving. Same thing for like Watts, Compton, and some of the other areas. Long Beach, Inglewood. And then it's starting to happen in the rural areas. Royal Heights, Montebello, San Fernando Valley, Pomona, Lancaster. It's starting to be like real slowly. Everybody wants to go in their home early. But now these type of events is happening in the daytime. So it's like, we're in the wild, wild west. And I imagine Washington is part of the West also. So I had this other clip coming. And that was commercial. Go over there and check out Nate the lawyer. And then we got this other one right over here. Because they don't want y'all to know black people have had enough with the Democratic Party. So feel free to go over here. So we're going to get on this next clip and hear some more DC stuff that they don't want y'all to really know. Fair use. This is Doc Rich Show. So let's check it out.
Our cities.
I might speed it up, and then y'all just feel free to go and check out the rest of the video. I mean, he got some real gems up in here. Some real gems are up in here, for real. Okay, so let's go over and check out the truth about Trump saving black lives in DC streets. Promise, deliver. See, what they're saying is that it's been a long time that we've seen presidents deliver on different things, especially pressing real hard to the community at large.
Safer. By Trump locking up all these dangerous criminals, he is actually saving more black Americans than anybody who want to race bait, race hustle, and make money off of black pain.
See? That's what this is about. Make money off of black pain, have people that can run for office, shatter the dreams of other blacks that went to school, college in these neighborhood communities, and then they having a problem just writing their name in the ballot because they got caught up with speeding tickets, loans, and then it's like all of a sudden the competition is stiff because these other people, individuals that came in and rally and different agendas is going on so quick that no one have time to really run. That is too many people running at the same time that's generally not from the same community. So I like that saying that I'm for tax policy. All of your kin folks are not your skin folks. It's some saying like that. And the same goes for the same party of individuals. That's how I'm here. Because wait until you see this part I like with this video. I seen the piece stuff. It's gonna crack y'all up. I'm gonna speed it up.
You know, I give President Trump a lot of credit because he's doing what should have been done a long time. Enforce the law, lock the criminals up.
Facts. He's doing exactly what should have been done a long time ago, right?
So I'm gonna skip it and get right in.
Let's dive in.
My husband first. It was the 1st of January of 2021. He was trying to help an elderly man and he was stabbed to death. My son, somebody came up behind him and shot him 8 times, twice in the head, 6 times in the body, and he's a paraplegic now. So, believe me, gun violence is personal for me.
When you hear from city leaders and others that crime is actually down, are you seeing that?
No, I'm not seeing it. We're seeing carjackings, the violence in the communities. So we were advocating then for the National Guard to come out, but they said there was no need. But think about how many lives could have been saved just having them on the scene.
Inacia says still to this day, she's not heard from one detective about those crimes committed against her family. Now for Tempe Satcher, another DC resident, her son BJ was gunned down in a random drive-by shooting on the way to work 2 years ago, and she does not feel that crime has calmed down.
Just today, a young lady was shot over on 15th Street in Northeast DC. Does that seem like crime gone down? With all the things that are going on with our president, sending the National Guards out, I don't have a problem with that personally, because if MPD can't do it and they need help, then I'm glad they're able to get the help.
So you heard that there, okay? Black residents in D.C. That are being affected by this nonsense want Trump there. They were talking about the National Guard coming before, right? So now that Trump is doing it, it's great. Now, Democrats, for the most part, are pushing back against that. But some of them are realizing, maybe we better stop doing that because it's not going to turn out well for us.
Covering the crime crisis in D.C., Baltimore, and a lot of areas in the country. And when they hear the stats being told, a lot of people tell me it just doesn't paint the full picture. How do you see it?
Well, I think we have to be willing to say the quiet part out loud. And I think as Democrats, it's facing uncomfortable conversations about crime. Look, no one wants to put kids in jail or lock them away for life. But when we ignore...
She said no one don't want to put kids in jail or lock them away for life. And yet they did it. They did it many times. But now they just don't have the power to do it. Remember, if Kamala would have been in there, what they would have been doing right about now? Well, allegedly, probably some medical applied to be cutting up the prisoners. I don't think so. Because the other streams of the rainbow community, they show these lawsuits of doing their sexual identity. See, it's like, what is the use? A slap on the wrist, type of thing. So you see them looting in the store, and that's all she said was this. See?
Conversations about crime. Look, no one wants to put kids in jail or lock them away for life, but when we ignore a problem...
Nah, I do. These YNs, yeah, lock them up for life. For life, okay? Don't say nobody, because I do. These YNs is crazy out here. Crazy. Like, they don't care at all. They will rob you, stab you, shoot you. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. They do not care. It ain't like this type of stuff only happens at night. Like, nah. You leave your car door open just a little too long at the gas pump.
See? So like a lot of us been seeing on our news report. So it's, to me, it's like it's tantalizing, getting ratings and stuff of that nature. It's tantalizing, and then it's always going to be an apprehension. And then when you find out their age, because they didn't wrote some kind of bill or law in that they get some kind of probationary here, and they do it again, or the next time they do it, somebody dies. So let me speed it up and get to this other part that cracked me up. And y'all can feel free to go over there. Fair use to Doc Rich, man. He been putting in some work, man. I mean, he been putting in some work. So, all right, now I skipped it, so feel free. You missed something in the middle, and I'll just snap it right in the middle, and we're gonna check this out. All right.
These folks are being paid.
Protesters feel the same about federal law enforcement. But the fury may not be fully organic. Fox News has learned that paid protester requests have increased 400% since President Trump announced the federal takeover of D.C.'s police department. The New York Post reports that high-dollar donors like George Soros have pumped more than $20 million into protest groups currently organizing demonstrations in the district.
Are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people?
According to the White House, 45 arrests were made last night for reasons including assault, drug distribution, and illegal firearms. 29 illegal immigrants were also apprehended. The district's police chief, Pamela...
We don't need to listen to the rest of that. So, you heard it. Paid protesters. And I want to show y'all something, because it gets crazy, because we have a little bit of proof here. Now, keep in mind, D.C. is a city that is 50% people of color, right? 50%, about half of the city. I want y'all to take a look at these protesters, though. What do you notice about this? In a city that is half black, what do you notice?
Well, answer the question. Say something in the feed. What do you notice? What do you notice?
First off, that is the most ineffective protest I've ever seen in my entire life. Right? That is the most ineffective protest I've ever seen. Like, you're banging on pots and pans. Congratulations. Now, before I reveal what was missing going on with that clip, and you can comment below what you think, I want to play this other protest, this clip of this other protest as well.
Here's a real cop. He has a badge, he has insignia, he has his name on his chest.
What do you notice about this clip?
That's a real cop.
Fuck no.
Go home.
His citizens, he's not a real cop.
What'd you notice about that clip? That is a city that is half black. Did you see a single black person out there protesting? A single person? I didn't see one. Not a one. So when you have a situation where...
So y'all know? Let's check that video one more time. Did y'all see half black city? Let's check that video one more time.
What do you notice about this clip?
That's a real cop.
Fuck no.
Go home.
His citizens, he's not a real cop.
Man, if we was out there, they'll be like trying to move us around and everything.
What'd you notice?
See, so that's what I'm saying. That they'll be out there, boy. Feel free to go over there and check out the Doc Rich show. They'll be out there trying to hurt us, move us in another street. Y'all saw what happened when I did the civil unrest scream out here? They heard you around, they moved you, they try to say unlawful assembly. But it's like, you know, they don't want it no more. And matter of fact, things that they're addressing out there in Washington, D.C. It's like, you know, some of the homelessness, some of the crime wave. We already know most of the people that are doing the store meetings just not all home. They have a place to stay, but what's triggering them? Could it be the certain laws that was put in place? Could it be that they even noticed a decrease in the police department in arrival time? That you know, when they make a phone call from the jail, they explain to the other parties what they call it. Their group, but they call it cliques. Cliques that, you know, hey man, we still got the other mission to complete and stuff like that. So I bet you they probably be having streets takeovers, everything. It's all kind of like this things going on. Did you hear what the citizens said at the beginning of this thing? This has been going on for years. People have died, and I liked what that other lady said. If they would have done this earlier, it would have been a lot of lives. And what lives? Lives of individuals that share my complexion and other individuals' complexion. So, you know, thank y'all for showing up to the show. Man, I could show some more, but man, this has been a good screen. I'm going to pat myself on the back, and we'll get back. And until then, share this screen, educate yourself, and look for some more screens. And feel free to send me some screens. Some people send me some screens that I'm dabble into, and bring it.